and pleasant good afternoon to one and all. Welcome to LawSikho's thorough newspaper analysis for 23rd and 24th of Feb 2024. That means yesterday and today's. Now, we'll be discussing in the today's agenda about the editorial section, which relate to the key aspect of the electoral bond case that happened in the Supreme Court, making it unconstitutional. But one aspect, that means one aspect, that particular unconstitutionality dealing with the money bill route is still pending in the court. So we'll be discussing that particular aspect of the electoral bond case. Then we'll be discussing about the news update, and lastly, the legal news update of the day. Now, starting with the context behind this particular editorial, I'll be speaking about the judgment that came up from the 5 judges bench from the Supreme Court that struck down, that made the electoral bond scheme as unconstitutional. But it saved one aspect of the challenge to a larger bench. And the aspect of the challenge was the issue that the government used money bill route to bring in the laws that introduced the electoral bond. So what happened when the electoral bond came in? So the parliament used the money bill route to make sure that the bill is passed. So the constitutionality of using the money bill is being still a matter of question in the Honorable Supreme Court. Now, this particular aspect is pending before a 7 judges bench, and it is yet to be decided whether the parliament used money bill route was valid or not. Now, I'm quoting some of the lines from the electoral bond ruling from Justice Sanjeev Khanna, who wrote it, that the question of constitutional validity of the scheme and the amendment introduced by the Finance Act 2017 are being examined by us. So the amendment validity has been examined by the Honorable Supreme Court. But the question of introducing this amendment through a money bill by using Article 110 of the Constitution is not being examined by us. And the scope of Article 110 of the Constitution has been referred to a 7 judges bench. Now, the fate of at least 3 other laws which has been upheld by the Honorable Supreme Court also need to be examined. So Supreme Court has upheld the amendment made to Prevention of Money Laundering Act and Aadhaar Act. But a very important point I need to make here is that this laws could still be struck down if the court decides that they were enacted to an improper procedure. That means they did not use a money bill procedure validly. So if their constitutionality becomes invalid due to procedure, then this particular law, being still upheld by the court, can be struck down. The plea challenging the constitutionality of the tribunal reforms also has been introduced by the money bill route, is pending before the Supreme Court. So it is not about the electoral bond case, guys. It is not just about the bond case. It is about many other laws that will be brought into the system through a money bill route. Their amendments, some have been upheld by the court, some have been struck down. But the procedure by which they brought it in the force is still a matter of question, which is pending before the Honorable Supreme Court of India, before a 7 judges bench. Now, I need to make here, when we are talking about a money bill, so let us understand the constitutional provision. So constitutional provision is Article 110, which deals with money bill, which in the opinion of Lok Sabha Speaker deals with taxation or appropriation of public fund in the Consolidated Fund of India or contingency fund. Now, a very major difference between an ordinary bill or money bill, that money bill need not to be passed by Rajya Sabha. The Finance Act, which brings in the annual budget, is the money bill. Now, NDA government tested the money bill route in its first term when cobbling up the numbers in the Rajya Sabha was a cause of concern for it, especially for contentious legislation. In 2017, government also introduced Tribunal Reforms Act as a part of Finance Bill, Amani Bill. While hearing a challenge to the changes made in service condition of tribunal heads, Supreme Court had referred the Money Bill issue to a larger bench, that is 7 judges bench. The lone dissenter in the 5 judges bench that upheld Aadhaar, Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud, had termed the government use of money bill route a subterfuge and meaning a fraud to the constitution. So this particular point has been pending before the Honorable Supreme Court, before the 7 judges bench. Even if the electoral bond case is decided by the Honorable Supreme Court, but still one aspect, whether using money bill procedure to bring up the bill in force is a valid or still it needs a major consideration. Let's see what 7 judges bench of the Honorable Supreme Court has a say on this, and we'll keep you updated. Now, coming up to the national news, Ladakh organizes world's highest frozen lake marathon on Pangong Tso. So it is having the participation of about 120 runners from 7 countries, and the event have been organized with agenda to bring attention towards melting Himalayan glacier, which pose a massive threat to our environment. Now coming here, Ladakh and Jammu Kashmir became 2 separate UTs in the year 2019. The second news, Malta becomes 119th member of International Solar Alliance. So Malta has joined the International Solar Alliance, becoming the 119th country to be the part of this intergovernmental organization. Now, International Solar Alliance is a treaty-based intergovernmental organization launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and former President Francois Hollande of France. Now, in this, 73 countries have signed and 50 countries have signed and ratified the International Solar Alliance Framework Agreement. Now, let us talk about Malta. Malta is an island country located in central Mediterranean Sea. Head of the government, Prime Minister Robert Abela, capital Valletta, and head of state, President George Vela. Now, some interesting facts, a very quick revision for you guys. UTs of India, there are 8 UTs: Andaman Nicobar, Port Blair, Chandigarh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu, the government of NCT of Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Lakshadweep and Puducherry. I hope just revise it once so that you can remember it all the time. Manohar Joshi passes away. Manohar Joshi was the Maharashtra first non-Congress CM. He was a former Lok Sabha speaker, was Bal Thackeray's loyal allied. So he has been passed away on February 23rd at the age of 86 owing to cardiac arrest. Manohar Joshi, also affectionately known as Joshi Sir, was the first chief minister from undivided Shiv Sena and held the post during 1995 till 1999. Swami Prasad Maurya launches new party days after quitting Samajwadi Party. So ahead of the Lok Sabha elections that are being there in the year 2024, former Samajwadi Party leader Swami Prasad Maurya launched his new political party, the Rashtriya Shoshit Samaj Party in Delhi. The launch of Rashtriya Shoshit Samaj Party came days after Maurya resigned from his MLC seat and served connection with the Samajwadi Party. Okay, so Swami Prasad Maurya launches new party days after quitting Samajwadi Party. So it's a news for political things. Now, Raisina Dialogue 2024. The 9th edition of the Raisina Dialogue started from February 21st and it concludes today, Friday, in New Delhi. Now, the conference was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Greece Prime Minister Kyrios Mitsotakis joined the inauguration session as the chief guest. Now, what is Raisina Dialogue? Raisina Dialogue is an annual conference on geopolitics and geoeconomics, which aim to address the most challenging issues faced by the world. The conference takes place in New Delhi and is attended by people from political, business, media, and civil society backgrounds. Now, let us understand the theme of this session. The theme of 2024 edition is Chaturanga, Conflict, Contest, Cooperate, Create. Okay, so Raisina Dialogue 2024. Mukesh Ambani backed AI model Reliance Hanooman to launch in March. The Bharat GPT group backed by Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industry Limited is set to launch its first chat GPT style service next month. The model has been dubbed Hanooman and represents India's race to develop potentially transformative AI technology. The very important aspect of this particular technology is that the model will work via 11 local languages in 4 fields: healthcare, governance, financial services, and education. Union Finance Minister chairs 20th meeting of Financial Stability and Development Council. The issues related to formation of strategy and implementing the decision of FSDC and union budget announcement were discussed in the meeting. So this particular meeting was held. Union Finance Minister, that is Shri Nirmala Sitharaman, has held and chaired this meeting, which was 20th meeting. The FSDC deliberated on issues related to macro financial stability and India's preparedness to deal with them. So this was all about the 20th meeting of Financial Stability and Development Council. Multinational military exercise kick off in Nepal. So it is an exercise named Shanti Prayas 4 kicked off in Nepal at the army headquarters, and there was a participation of 19 countries. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, who is the Prime Minister of Nepal, Prachanda inaugurated the 2-week long military drill. The exercise has been organized with the assistance of Global Peace Operation Initiative, called as Global Peace Operation Initiative. Objective of this exercise, which will run till March 4, is to increase the interoperability and peacekeeping skills at various levels before deployment to the UN missions and operational level staff training. Now, when we are talking about Nepal, so let us talk about Nepal. Nepal, officially the Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal, is a landlocked country in South Asia. And what type of mountain ranges are there? Everest, Kanchenjunga, Lhotse Makalu, Chou, Dholagiri, Manalslu, Annapurna 2, and Gyalchung Khang. Dadasaheb Phalke Awards 2024 full list of winners. So Dadasaheb Phalke International Film Festival Award was held in Mumbai on Tuesday, and here is the winner list. The best film goes to Jawan. Best Film Critics goes to 12th Fail. Best Actor Shah Rukh Khan. Best Actress Critics Kareena Kapoor. Best Actress Rani Mukherjee. Director Atle Jawan. Now, Best Director Sandeep Reddy Vanga. Best Short Film Good Morning. Best International Feature Film Oppenheimer. And Best Web Series Farzi. So this was all about Dadasaheb Phalke Award, which held in 2024. Odysseus Initiative Machines Private Lander on Moon. Intuitive Machines became world's first private organization to ace moon landing with its unscrewed autonomous lander Odysseus. This landing marks a milestone for US as it looks to restart its moon mission after over 50 years since Apollo program. The mission called IM-1 is an intuitive machine's first mission through NASA Commercial Lunar Payload Services initiative. Now, this is the first time any US-built scale spacecraft had landed on the moon since NASA's most recent crewed visit Apollo 17 mission in December 1972. India and Greece agreed to double bilateral ties by 2030. So the heads of both countries deliberated on enhancing cooperation in the field of space, pharma, shipping, communication, defense, agriculture, and maritime. This is the first bilateral head of state or government level visit from Greece to India after 15 years. Chaliye. BBC gets first Indian origin chairman in Dr. Sameer Shah. So Indian-born media executive, that is Dr. Sameer Shah, was on Thursday confirmed as the new BBC chairman after his selection cleared the stages of scrutiny to be approved by King Charles III this week. The 72-year-old has now been conferred for fourth-year term role to take charge as the public broadcaster first Indian origin chair from March 14 till March 2028. So BBC gets its first origin Indian origin chairman Dr. Sameer Shah. The next news in the slide itself, 8-year-old chess player become youngest to beat a grandmaster. So 8-year-old chess player Ashwath Kaushik has become the youngest player to defeat a grandmaster in classical chess. Now, Indian-born Ashwath, who has been lived in Singapore, defeated 37-year-old Stopa to break the record set a month earlier by Leonid Ivanov from Serbia. Now, coming up to the legal update, police does not have power to recover money or act as a civil court for money recovery. So what court has said here and have restricted police power, the Supreme Court recently reiterated that contractual dispute or breach of contract per se should not lead to the initiation of criminal proceeding. The court has stated that police will not have a power to recover money or act as a civil court. They are just a protecting agency and they cannot act as a money recovery agency. And the case name is Lalit Chaturvedi and others versus State of UP and another. Now, coming up to the SRA, injunction suit to protect possession, not maintainable when plaintiff title is disputed. So, Supreme Court held that when there is a suit of injunction may not be maintainable against the defendant if the plaintiff fails to prove the title of property while praying for injunction. So plaintiff has to prove the title of the property. The plaintiff title should not be disputed. And it's a very important case for SRA. And the case name is Tehsildar Urban Development Trust and Adadar versus Ganga Bai Minaria dead through a legal representative and another. Guys, if you want to revise your previous TNA, then do watch the quiz link and do solve the quiz that is mentioned in the description of this particular video. Please do like the video. It is really very free for you, but really very help us to grow. Please do tell us your feedback in the comment section. That means a lot to us and we can improve. Subscribe our channel. Thank you so much for watching. Do take care of yourself.